And we are live. What is going on, everyone? It's Johnny Dunn, and we are back with another one. Today, another epic VeVe live stream. Today, we just have one drop, but we do have a super limited drop today, 15,000 edition blind box comic book drop today. So I'm excited to go over the details, the covers on these, my kind of game plan, my strategy on this drop, if I'm going to be picking it up on the drop or in the marketplace, or if I'm just going to be skipping it. So also got a couple great videos to go over today. Shout out to everyone joining the live stream. We got DYD in here early. DYD says he's going for only 7 gems. You can't lose too much. Secret rare cover is the best. Yeah, great point, DYD. I don't think it's going to go, can only go, 50% under retail pretty much on this one. I don't really see it going less than $3 in the secondary marketplace, but we do know that it's not the most valuable comic book in real life. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one does in the marketplace because it is pretty limited, right? It's going to be pretty hard to get on the drop, I think, with only 15,000 editions. We got BDK in the building. How we doing? How we doing, fam? We got Cam Crawford in the building. Let's go. How we doing, fam? It is only a $7 blind box. So again, these blind box comics are great for any kind of new users or even the users that have been here for a while that really don't have that many gems. Always a good little treat to go for a drop that's only $7. A lot cheaper and a lot more affordable than sometimes a blind box that's $70 or $50 or anything like that. So always good to see that happen once in a while. I'm going to be going over the details in just a second here. Let me know which covers you guys like the best too, because I feel like it's kind of split right now. I think a lot of people do like the secret rare cover on this one, but for me, it's not the secret rare cover that I like the most. And I'm going to show you guys which one I like the most. Just a second here. So $6.99, $7, like I said, retail price for this drop. We have 15,700 total editions. So pretty limited. I guess it's not super limited like we've seen with 10K editions, but 15,000 is pretty limited compared to the 30,000 standard edition run. So commons today, we have 8,000 commons, 4,500 uncommons. There's only 1,972 gold covers. How many gold covers have we seen? None, right? This is something that stuck out to me right away. I'll show you guys once we go over the actual covers, but you guys know me in gold. When I saw the cover, I said, when I saw the comic book, I should say, we knew that this wasn't the most valuable comic, but I saw this rare cover and it instantly, I know for me, it may not have got everybody interested, but for me, I think VeVe knows by now, the Komi team knows that I love gold. So I wonder if this Rarity cover had anything to do with some people's interest in gold, because the Disney Golden Moments, anything gold usually does pretty well on VeVe. The platinum cover here, 1,021 editions, the ultra rare. Really not that many more for the rare here. And then the secret rare, this is going to be probably the most valuable one, obviously, just because the scarcity alone in this one. 207 editions for the secret rare. And I actually probably like the cover the second best of that secret rare. So let's dive into the covers here. The common, I like the common look. It looks pretty sweet. I like the greenish background. I like that one. We got the uncommon here. I know a lot of people are fans of the black and white style, like the sketch. For me, I'm not the biggest fan of that. I kind of like the color a little bit more. Just depends on the comic book. But for this one, I probably like the common a little bit more than the uncommon. And guys, this is my favorite cover actually in a while because of the gold. We got the rare gold cover. Instantly when I saw this, I said, wow, why do I feel like I have to have this? We know it's not that valuable or important comic book, but it's not a Marvel comic either. So I know a lot of people thought this was maybe a DC comic book. It looks like it's ERB. I really don't know the history too much of this, so we're going to have to dive into a couple of videos to find out the history. But we've seen Lucasfilm as being a licensor of the Star Wars comic. We have Marvel comics, so this could be like the third. We'll see what happens here, but just the cover alone, I absolutely love. So if I do end up going for this drop, I think I'm a game time decision. If I pass on this drop, it's just because I don't really want to take a chance. I'm not really the biggest gambler. I more so want to just go for it to see if I can beat out 15,000 people, see if I can grab it. But I wonder if we're going to be able to get multiples, because a lot of people are saying that there's not that many users on VeVe anymore. I still think it's going to be tough probably just to get one. I think it's going to be almost impossible to get two. We shall see. But I think just because there's a super limited edition, There's going to be 15,000 people that go for this one right away. Then we got the ultra rare. This is the black and white version. So we haven't seen too many fully black and white versions. I guess they're calling this platinum. So I wonder if this would go in that black and white version. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are, because I guess platinum, it's technically different. I do like the fact, I wonder if they're going to continue to do that, kind of have the gold cover, platinum. You would think the gold or platinum would be the secret rare, right? But this comic cover, I do like the look of this one. It looks pretty clean. I like how they took that common cover kind of and just made it that bottom centerpiece with the black background. Just looks a little bit more official, I think, with this one. So if I had to rank these covers just by aesthetics alone, I'm going with the rare. I'm going with the rare for me, number one. Then maybe secret rare, then common. Then between the ultra rare and the uncommon. Let me know your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think? Got Dr. Strange in the building. How we doing, fam? Again, I don't think this is going to be the most valuable comic. If you guys are, pretty limited on gems, I don't think this is going to be one of those comics to where you really want to go and risk it and kind of gamble for the secret rare. I will mention right now the rarities, or not the rarities, but the odds, because I feel like that's something that kind of gets overlooked. For the ultra rare, we have a 1 in 16% chance of odds of getting it. The secret rare, we have a 1 in 81 chance of getting the secret rare. So every 81 people are going to get the secret rare. It's probably going to be possible to get that one. I don't have a good feeling that everybody's going to be getting the secret rare on the drop today. The rare is got 1 in 8. So a lot of people are probably going to get the rare, uncommon, common today. Again, guys, I think if you are limited on gems, you don't really want to gamble on these, I think this is probably a good opportunity to maybe pass or skip the drop. We're going to dive into a couple of videos right now. First one I want to dive into, let's see here. Let's dive into the shorter one first. From Comics and Crypto. Hodl or sell video. Short little 2-minute long video here.
Hey, VeVe fam. Oh boy. Here we go. The comic we have all been waiting for. Tarzan of the Apes number 207. The origin of the Ape Man. Woo. Not since Hit Monkey have we been this excited for a comic. Anyways,
Hit Monkey
stuff happens. A gorilla raises a dude to be a very strong human, but still a very weak ape. Guess what? It's today's fun fact of the day. Even though this comic originally appeared under the DC Comics license, this specific drop will be under the license of Edgar Rice Burroughs Incorporated, the man who created the character of Tarzan. Along with the origin of Ape Man, this comic also tells the origin of John Carter from Mars. Of course, neither of these stories even compare to Tarzan's First Christmas. Flawless. Go Collect says a 9.8 grade in this book is worth about $325. For our final verdict, we give this book a sell. Yeah, even at 15,000 total editions, we can't see this book taking off in a big way. This comic was released in 1972 and is still only valued to be worth $325 in its highest grade. There is no speculation on this book or about Tarzan re-emerging on film or TV anytime soon, so it's safe to say the pop culture value has pretty much flatlined. It's for this reason if you land the comic on drop day, we will be selling to reinvest into more significant grails or keys, like the recently dropped Avengers number 4, the first Silver Age appearance of Captain America. Besides, I prefer George of the Jungle. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.
Great video. Short, concise, quick, to the point. I think we all know by now that this isn't the most valuable comic in the real world. Again, I don't think this is going to be, one to where, if you, like I said before, if you guys are limited on gems and you don't really want to gamble for something like that, I think this is one maybe you want to pass and maybe take your chances on maybe one of the decon drops or something like that. Again, 15,000 editions. If you do get the secret rare, it's going to be tough. It's a 1 in 81 chance. Those are the odds. You can also look at the odds right on the VeVe app. If you go to the store tab, go to the drop. This is where we're going to be hitting buy now button. But if you continue to scroll down, They'll actually give you the odds for each rarity. Ultra rare, 1 in 16. My favorite, the rare gold cover. Let's go, gold. 1 in 8 chance for the gold. Secret rare, 1 in 81. It's going to be tough to land that secret rare today. But I think if you do land it, it's going to be at least a few $100 because there's only 200 holders essentially. But I think for me, if I do get that secret rare, I'm probably going to flip it right away to the marketplace, get some gems for it, sell it at a pretty high price. But that's just my game plan. Everybody has their own strategy. I think it could do well over time, but I'm more so a little bit geared towards the popularity. I think popularity over time will cause scarcity. And we have some legendary comic books in the VeVe app right now. Marvel Comics #1, Fantastic Four #1, Amazing Spider-Man. Even like the lower ones like Journey into Mystery, Daredevil. There's just so many great ones on the app right now to where I think for me, I don't really have too many gems right now. I only have just over like 100 or something like that. So I may go for it just to go for the drop just because I'm on stream with you guys. But for the most part, I would probably skip this one. I do love the gold cover. Let me take a look at this one once again. I think this is – oh, that's not the one I wanted. For me, this is one of my favorite covers we've had in a while just because it is gold. We've never had a golden comic book before. So FA gold comic book – just for the aesthetics of it, I do like that one the best, but to each his own, right? I think the secret rare will do the best, of course. Shout out to Kurosemi. Yes, fam. Excited for this one. Good luck, everybody. Good luck, Kurosemi. I know you're going to be going for the drop. I want to see at least one person get the secret rare on the drop. You know, one person in the chat, if they get the secret rare, I'll be ecstatic. I'll be really happy with that one. Be lit. Good morning, fam. Good luck today, everybody. Super Rush says they only barely have any gems, but I want to go for it. I think it could be worth it. I've heard rumors the secret rare might be the first animated SR cover like Terra Virtua. Let's take a look. What makes you think the secret rare cover could be animated, guys? Let's take a look on the big screen. Yeah. I definitely think we will see animated covers, but I don't know if this secret rare is going to be the first animated one. Nothing really tells me it's going to be animated. What do you guys think? I definitely think maybe some of the Captain America ones that we saw on the previously, I think those could have a chance. You know, the arc, the comic book arc that we've seen with Captain America, I think that could have a chance that those comics would be animated. But I'm not too sure. I mean, Super Rush, there's a possibility for anything, right? But for me, I didn't see the possibility of this secret rare being animated. What if you just sat and looked at the camera for 50 whole minutes before the drop? So, Mo, why would I do that? That would be the longest 50 minutes in the world if I just sat here and stared at you guys. I would probably start to get really anxious and probably nervous of not saying anything. Like the awkward quietness when I feel like everybody's staring at me. That's probably why I feel like I ramble on so much too. I don't usually like to just sit when there's like a quiet pause. Shout out to Dave Nelson. How we doing? Hamoon, how we doing, brother? What's up, JD, my homie? Good luck today, everybody. Yeah, good luck, Hamoon. Are you going to be going for the drop, Hamoon? Because I feel like this is one where a lot of people could be skipping the drop, you know, just because it's not the most valuable in the real world. Comics with sound. That would be definitely an interesting twist. I definitely have been expecting an animated comic cover to be released. I was thinking more so once we can put them in our showrooms. Never even thought about having sound, though. Imagine if these two were fighting on the cover and then it's animated. Can't believe my congestion's coming back already. It's only about 15 minutes into the live today. I'm also thinking about, I wonder if something in my shower has me getting congested because I always take a shower right before. But we shall see. We shall see. Craziest thing I've seen coming are old school pop-out books being digital. Wow, that would be amazing. Be lit. What's the longest you ever grown the beard out, bro? I feel like you would look. Yeah. There's been a couple. If you go back to some of my old live streams from when I first started making YouTube videos on VeVe, I have my beard pretty thick. Like it grows pretty quickly. I always trim it up, shave it, and then it'll grow out pretty quickly once again. We got Miss Rose in the building. How we doing? How we doing, Miss Rose? Let's go. I'm going for this comic, she says. I like the covers on these. Only 207 secret rares. Secret rare with classic Tarzan. Oh, with the classic Tarzan yell. Could you imagine this one, if I'm wrong and this one does have some kind of sound or animation? Miss Rose, 1 in 81 chance of the secret rare, hoping you get it today. Let's dive into one more video. That was a short little classic hodl or sell video from Comics and Crypto. They gave it a sell, I think rightfully so. We're going to be diving into the next one. You always get them basement histamine. I have 2 humidifiers going right now. That's why it's kind of cold in my downstairs right now. Maybe I got to clean them again. It's been a little bit since I cleaned them, so maybe I just got to clean them. But I feel like maybe something in my showers got me feeling a little... Because I always take a shower right before I come on live. So, I don't know. Eventually, I'm going to figure it out. It's been about 5 months now. Probably close to 6 months. So, something's got to change or something. First time to hit a secret rare? That would be crazy. Now, the question would be, Miss Rose, are you going to sell it? Would you sell your first ever secret rare comic? Financially, you might want to, not financial advice, but it's always hard to pass up and let go of your first secret rare, first big drop. Hamoon saying maybe certain shampoo, it could be. Sometimes I use a conditioner, basically this new argan oil. If you guys want the secret beard tips, argan oil. I started using it probably about a year or 2 ago, maybe 3 years ago. Maybe even 4 or 5 now. Time flies. But argan oil is the beard remedy. That's what I've been using. Used to never use beard oil or anything like that, but argan oil came out with this conditioner. And ever since I started growing my hair out wild, I've been using the conditioner too, which I like it, but maybe that has something to do. I never thought about that, Hamoon. Maybe I should try a live. My next live, I won't take a shower right before it. My hair looks completely different though. That's why I do like taking a shower, because when I don't take a shower, my hair is so curly and poofy. So I may just have to sacrifice it to see if that changes, because I don't know. It's kind of wild. Is this true, Be Lit? I don't want to do this if it's not accurate. A lot of people that think they have allergies really have a deviate. Really? Interesting, Doctor Strange. Interesting. You know, I didn't even think it was really allergies. I mean, sometimes when I go to the golf course, it gets worked up really bad, but it's only like when the pollen. I'm allergic to pollen, so only certain days when that's really bad outside, I can feel it. But Vidimon, I got 2 secret rares on Avengers drop last week. I had to do a double take. Wearing the same shirt again. That's what I'm talking about. I love superstitions like that. I have a lot of them with golf, baseball, even just in life, right? I got a power balance band, which I don't know if that does anything, but I love wearing it. Jeremy says if the shirt works, can I borrow it next comic? Vidimon, I can't believe you got 2 secret rares. Did you use 2 accounts, like 2 phones, or just 1 account, 1 phone, and you got 2 secret rares? Because if you did, that's unbelievable. I mean, even if you use 2 accounts, that's still crazy, man. Yeah, whatever you did last time, definitely repeat that. I would hold just like my F.A. Darth birthday drop. Let's go. That's one that you're going to remember forever, Miss Rose. On your birthday, land the F.A. Darth Vader. Low mint. 3 digits. Unbelievable. George of the Jungle. Best movie ever. 1 account. Wow. Yeah. Did you go play the lottery that same day? Because you probably should have. I haven't even hit a secret rare comic book, to believe it or not. It's just as Alien Sense trying to adapt to Earth. Yeah, the vibes down here on Earth just aren't the same. So that's why I got to still adapt. Nah, for real though, I really don't know how it's still going on, but I'm gonna figure it out eventually, and then no more Snifflegate. But till then, you may just have to deal with the Snifflegate. Vinima, one account, man, unbelievable. Yeah, that's epic. Like I said, I never complain when I say I haven't hit a secret rare comic, just because I've been blessed on all the collectibles. Couple big time secret rare collectibles I got on a blind box on the regular drop. I've been blessed. So hopefully the VeVe gods are saving my secret rare comic for the DC Batman comics that come out. Solid move, Vidimon. And this is the exact same thing that I always suggest. I don't know the technical, rules, if you can have multiple accounts, etc. For me, it's just been one of those things where I've always had one account, one phone, well, until I bought my new phone. And I feel like that probably did help with the drops, but some people get new phones and they don't do well in the drops. So I don't know if that really helped or not. But one account, one phone, never bought off-app gems at a discount. Like, for me, I've always told you guys that's the exact reason for me too. I've always wanted to keep myself perfect just because you never know what's going to happen in the future, right? I'm sure one day that they're going to make it to where you can only have one account, one phone. Maybe we're waiting till KYC comes out, but definitely agree. Same here. I'll put my shirt up on auction if it works. If you get a secret rare today, Vidimon, that would be insane. Dark Link, how we doing? How we doing, fam? All right, let's dive into this video. We got VeVe 3. Shout out to Heather and Corey. I love putting on their content before the drops. Gets us into the drop. Gets us a little bit of knowledge. Maybe we didn't know about the drop. So let's dive into it.
Welcome back to VeVe 3 with me, Corey, a.k.a. Old Rhubarb on VeVe, and
me, Heather, from the VVT and also Heroes and Heroines.
And we felt like intrepid explorers hacking through the rainforest as we were researching for this comic, Tarzan 207. It's going to be landing on the platform on Friday, June 3rd at 8 a.m. Pacific time.
And this comic is making history on the app in more ways than one. For starters, it's the first book that we've had that's not from Marvel. Instead, we're seeing it from publishers ERB, which stands for Edgar Rice Burroughs, the name and creator of Tarzan. There's been discussion amongst the VeVe family that this may be a DC comic, but we can see from both the license and the cover itself, this is not via DC, which makes understanding the physical value of this book a little confusing. Go Collect has the value of the DC version of this book at $350 at high grade.
But again, this should be considered a different book than the DC version. Despite all the hunting that we did, we couldn't find an ERB printed published version of this book. All the books were via DC for Tarzan 207. And that kind of makes sense because this comic was a big deal for DC. It was their first ever entry of Tarzan, and they enlisted the late great Joe Kubert to make the first cover.
I wonder if that's actually going to give this book a little bit more value, since that it's really not even printed in the physical world, because the real physical version is by DC. Interesting, huh?
Kubert not only was a legendary artist, he was one of the best teachers of the medium, and he even has an art school as part of his legacy. And it would have been a challenge reimagining Tarzan, because Tarzan at this point had been reimagined many, many times over already.
And that's because whenever Burroughs conceived Tarzan, it was back in 1914. While Burroughs' complete history and backstory could populate a whole series of books, at that time he was fond of reading the men's pulp magazines of the era. He figured he could write a better story than what he was reading, and so he did. Thus, Tarzan of the Apes was first introduced into the All story.
And since the inception of this character back around 1914, it has been used in countless movies, TV shows, like silent movies of the day, radio talk shows. Pretty much if there's a medium that exists that you can think of, Tarzan has been a part of it.
Currently, Edgar Rice Burroughs Incorporated owns the copyrights to Tarzan properties, but as of 1999, the property has been licensed to Disney. And Disney has made use of the license with multiple motion pictures, television shows, video games, theme park attractions, and music.
As for the comic we're going to be getting tomorrow, we've got some unique mints and variant names.
I know Comics and Crypto said there's no real speculation yet on this coming to like the big screen again or kind of being revived. If it's being released on the VeVe app, I think there probably are plans for it. But again, it's probably just so far out in the future to where there's no even real speculation yet. So it'll be interesting to see if that does come to fruition in the future or not. Maybe it's just a random comic, right?
The number being minted for this one is going to be 15,700. So less than 30,000, more than 10,000. It's a different beast than Marvel. But let's go ahead and take a look at these covers. First, the classic cover is minting 8,000 editions. Like we showed earlier, this cover is clearly different than the DC cover. We're seeing that ERB logo and a first issue tag in the top right. We're assuming this is in reference to it being the first issue that crossed to DC. But again, this isn't DC. So it's a little confusing. It could be in reference to the Joe Kubert restylization of the character.
Next, the uncommon black and white cover is minting 4,500 editions. The lack of color really highlights the intensity of this cover, and that was sort of the point of DC bringing Joe Kubert in on the book. Tarzan takes a more visceral appearance and demeanor in this book moving forward.
The rare gold cover is minting
Let's go.
1,972 editions. This comic was published on April 10th of 1972, so this mint is a callback to that date. The gold title shine does look really slick, and the coloring of Tarzan also being slightly gold really does look aesthetically pleasing.
1972 editions. If you get the 1972, that's going to be big money right there. Even for a comic that's not crazy valuable, there's going to be collectors that want that special mint right there.
The ultra rare platinum cover is minting 1,021 editions. If we didn't know the naming convention and you had just handed us 5 comic covers to sort by rarity, we would assume that this was silver and gold cover was more rare. With that being said, the silver does stand out against line work on this piece. There's a bit of cover fatigue with these 4, and that's mostly because we are so used to getting the exclusive covers for the rare and ultra rares from Marvel.
Last, we have the secret rare variant, and it is minting 207 editions. That's scarcer than a 10K release from Marvel, which is interesting, but much like Marvel, this is an interior panel being pulled to the cover. Here's the panel it's being sourced from. A really interesting aspect about this specific panel is that for whatever reason, Joe Kubert signed this panel inside of the comic. That signature carries over to the cover of this book. Between the scarcity and that provenance gives this variant a little more weight as a collectible. And that's pretty much a wrap for this info dump. I don't know quite how I feel about this comic, just because I think when comic collectors look at this comic, they're going to kind of assume that it's a DC cover. I'm not really sure if that ERB cover is going to make a difference. It's really a true wild card for me. But at 6.99 gems, it's not a huge gamble to go for this one and try to get one.
In other news, we have DesignerCon starting this week. I'm really excited for us to get into the video breaking down the first series of artists that VeVe has released. Until that video, this is Heather.
And Corey.
Signing off.
Great video, guys. And we got DesignerCon drops coming up soon. I'm excited for them. Let me know which of the DesignerCon drops are you guys going to be targeting, hoping for, because it's also a little bit different of a setup that we've seen in the previous DesignerCon drops. I'm pretty sure that they're all going to be dropping at the same time, so you kind of get to pick and choose which one you want to go for. For me, that tells me that it's probably going to be a little bit more value holding right away when you open the market, because people are going to be going for the one that they actually want, as opposed to just going for every single drop type thing and then putting them in the market to flip. It's going to be interesting to see how they go. I think for me, the one that I'm going to be targeting, I have 2 that I've been thinking about. Because I have some other artist collectibles that I do like already on the VeVe app, I may try to use this as a chance to flipping, even increase my gem bag even more. So because of that, the one that I think that may come out the most expensive is probably, I'm going to say the Shut Up and Paint, just because of the amount of editions. I think it's the least or the most limited edition run. And for me, I'll probably try to flip that right away. I do like some of the artwork on some of these collectibles. I know we're seeing the Vulturer, right? The edition number 2, the black and purple version of that. Let me see if it's at, do we have the Medium article just yet? We do. Okay, awesome. I'm going to bring it up right now. So this is June 4th at 1 p.m. This is tomorrow. I will be live streaming this one. And these are all going to be dropping at the same time, guys. So Like I said, this is not like last decon where it was like spread out and pretty much you could, if you wanted to, go for every single drop. But because they're all dropping at the same time, for me, that it's really like chance for the people that are really into the one that they really want to hold and collect, they'll go for that. So to me, that just feels like there's going to be a little bit less editions in the market for sale, and it could hold its price a little bit better than before, but we'll see what happens. I don't think these are going to go crazy off the charts, but maybe it just surprise some people, do a little bit better than they're anticipating, because I feel like a lot of people don't think these are going to do well at all. This is the Vulture. This is we've seen the first version of this one. Restart to install the latest Windows. I am not going to do that right now. Black and purple. I like this colorway the best, actually. I remember when she was teasing this on Instagram, the physical versions, and once I saw the black and purple, I was like, whoa, that stands out. It kind of pops. I like this one probably the best out of all the first one that dropped, and some other ones that we've seen in the physical world. That's the $100 with 1,800 editions, essentially 1,888. I like this one too, just because I am a fan of any kind of artwork with like water. Not the biggest fan of this one. This is called The Bunny's Fall. I think, yeah, based in the Japanese countryside. Cozy and Dan, their artwork, I feel like once it gets localized and people from different countries and communities and cultures can start reading the VeVe app in their language, a lot of their art is going to go crazy. 30-minute warning. Wow, somebody beat me to the retweet. That's crazy. I haven't been beat to that in a long time. I try to make competition out of like the smallest little things. $50 for these two. But this will probably be a set together. Both Cozy and Dan's. I like this one too. I mean, the snow looks pretty sweet. Actually, between the two, I actually like the snow a little bit more aesthetic-wise. I love water artwork, but this is more focusing, I feel like, on the scenery around the water. But I mean, I like them both. $50, good price point. I don't think they're going to go too far under retail. If they do go under retail, I mean, I don't see them going less than 50% under retail. There's only 1,266 editions of them, just over 1,000 edition of them. The Moonflower. This was an interesting one. We haven't seen anything really like this before. I believe this is the first time this artist is coming to VeVe. We have 2,888 with a $77 retail price. So this one looks, they're valuing this one a pretty good amount. Interesting. His work is shown in galleries and museums worldwide, including LA, NYC, Hong Kong, Taiwan. Wow, okay, so all over the world. Pretty expensive one with, this is the most editions we have, 2,888. I feel like because of that, that one could do the least. This is all short term. Again, I think the artwork stuff is going to do really well long term. But I just don't think the fan bases are here just yet. So what that says to me is it gives us an opportunity. But you don't know how long you're going to have to hold on to them. Eventually, I definitely think they'll do fine. This is the one that I'll probably be targeting because it's going to be hard to get on the drop. I think a lot of people are going to be going for this one because it has 888 editions, $77. Shout out to Dave Pressler. I think he just did actually a interview not too long ago with some people in the community. Let me shout them out. Blake, the Connector. Shout out to Blake, the Connector. On Twitter. Blake and Chad had a great interview with Dave Pressler. I think they broke it up into 3 parts and they just posted the 3rd part today. I know he released the first one, Shut Up and Draw. I did have that, but then I sold it. So for this one, I probably will get just to kind of flip. I do like this one a lot, though. I like the rusty look of it. Rusty bots. This is what all the bots on VeVe look like. They're all rusted by now. But, I mean, I think this one's going to be probably the most expensive right away. If I was to collect and hold any of them, I really do like that snow painting. I want like an awesome underwater art to drop. I think it will eventually, somehow, some way, from someone. Like an underwater aquatic scene or something like that. I probably would hold that one too. I'm gonna get some more comments. December, how we doing? How we doing, fam? December Bitcoin in the building. Bingo. Yeah, Doctor Strange. I'm gonna have to take a look into that. What you said earlier. You know what's crazy too? I broke my nose. This is a long time ago, so I don't know if it has any effect on that. I broke my nose like my senior year in high school. Crazy story, short little story, real quick, off topic. I don't know if you can tell or not that my nose is slightly crooked. It's hard to tell. You might be able to tell now that I'm telling you to look at it. But when it happened, I was a senior in high school, so it probably happened. That was what, 2011, almost like a decade ago. I doubt it has any effect of what's going on now. But if anyone ever broke their nose before, you definitely know the feeling of how uncomfortable it is. This is how it happened. I was at baseball practice. I was pitching behind an L screen, like a screen, just throwing batting practice to someone, just like lobbing it. And all of a sudden, a dude hits a line drive off the side of the batting cage. I look, it hits off a pole in the cage. Usually there's a net. Well, there's a hole in the net. Ricochets off the pole, comes right behind the L screen because it's like on an angle now. Hits me square in the face. I go to my knees. I look up, like, what just happened? And the dude's like, oh my God. I'm like, what? And all of a sudden, I just see all this blood coming down. I was like, oh my gosh. Then it hit me. I was like, oh man, this is painful. But I just remember at first, I had no idea. It didn't even hurt. It was like shocked. And then all of a sudden, then I saw the blood. And that's when it started to hurt. My nose had black and blue, like raccoon eyes underneath of my eyes. My nose was crazy, but that was like a decade ago. So I doubt that has any effect. But that was the first time I ever broke my nose. And hopefully it's the last time. The most uncomfortable feeling in the world. Had to go to the nurse's office. They stuffed it up with a bunch of like cotton balls. Oh, it was terrible. So let's get rid of that vibe. Right? No more broken noses. Let's go. We got energy in the building. Energy's at 100, right? With Star Wars. Also, guys, I want to talk about Darth Vader. Speaking of, Star Wars. I wanted to come on the last couple of days and make a video on it, but I wanted to also take off, just a couple of days just for my mental health. I feel like it was important to kind of rejuvenate, refresh myself, and I feel so much better. So definitely feel good about that. I felt like I was letting you guys down for a couple of days, but I'm glad I'm back. Energy, you definitely are at 100 now, right? I think Star Wars Darth Vader was his 100th set, which is crazy iconic to be your 100th set. How we doing? How we doing? For Darth Vader, I definitely think it's a grail. Blue chip grail. I think the uncommon and the commons would be considered blue chips. FA Darth Vader. Guys, this is something that we've been saying before we even had Disney. Wait till they drop FA Darth Vader, right? Like, I think the ultra rare is a grail. I think you could consider them all grails if you have low mints of the uncommons, the commons. Because when you think about, for me, a grail is like a. Also, that's another reason why I wanted to tune into that Twitter Spaces the other day. Shout out to Ryan from the VeVe community. I didn't have time to. By the time I got home, they were finished with their spaces, but I think they talked about grails on VeVe, right? For me, a grail is something that when I look at grails on the VeVe app, I mean, everybody has their own picks and choices and opinions, right? I think it's something for me where, everybody in the world knows about it, been fans of it. Like when you think of Disney, right? A grail is a Walt Disney, right? Walt, because of how impactful it is, how big not really of a character, but of a person he is. When you think of Superman, when I think of Spider-Man, these are iconic characters where I look at someone like myself. Random, I say I'm pretty much like an average person, right? I'm not like your hardcore comic collector. I was never a comic collector. Hardcore in the Marvel superheroes. I was a fan of Batman. I like Spider-Man, but like I didn't know every single character. I wasn't collecting these things. So for me, when I see something like F.A. Mickey Mouse or Steamboat Willie or Marvel Comics #1, like either the historical impact of it, the first one ever, or just something that every single person knows and loves worldwide, it's a pretty safe bet. You could call that a blue chip. I think Grails, you might classify Grails maybe something a little bit harder to obtain, but that's just how I see it. I definitely see Darth Vader being a Grail. I got 3 commons. I let one go. I still have 2 commons, 1 uncommon, 1 ultra rare. I'm never going to let go of the ultra rare. Like that's the one that, especially for someone who's trying to make a big collection, like the Superman, the Captain America, even the Thor secret rare. These are all FAs besides the Captain America in premium digital format with a pretty limited run. Why does every drop keep a few for themselves? I believe the Tarzan drop is short, 420 issues. I don't know if it's exactly 420, but it's because the Comey team, they do hold back either 40 if it's a collectible or maybe a couple hundred if it's a comic book. They'll hold back and keep a few for themselves, whether that's for the licensors. I'm not sure if the actual team keeps any for themselves because I know they have to buy them in the marketplace too. But a lot of it's for the licensors, for the VeVeverse Museum, because they have one of everything that's going to be in the VeVeverse Museum. So it's just stuff like that, why they keep a few of them. I never heard of the Moonflower. Definitely going to be interesting to see how that one does. This secret rare is a banger. I'm kind of going these comments like all over the place, so just bear with me here, friend. Same old Buzz. What's going on? What's going on? I definitely want the gold rare cover too, guys. I think that one, I don't know if that's a sleeper or not because I really don't know how well it's going to do. I definitely think it's pretty limited. It's almost as limited as an ultra rare. So I think it's going to do pretty well over time. But maybe that's just my bias because I like the gold, right? I don't really know for sure. Good morning, Henry. Good morning. Good morning. I want the Falling Bunny or the Moonflower. Okay, Miss Rose. Let's take a look at the Falling Bunny once again. I think a lot of people are going to go after this one because they're familiar with it, right? And I think people are just fans of it. I think the one looks amazing. There's a physical version of it. The bunnies fall. Yeah, I do like this one. I like anything with water in it. I just wish it was a little bit more focused on the water. I like this one too. The Moonflower is interesting. I'm really going to keep my eye on how this does in the market because there's 2,888 editions, which when you compare it to a lot of other collectibles, it's still really limited. But because it's an artistic piece from an artist that a lot of the people that are on the app probably are unaware of right now, in the short term, it may not do too hot. But again, once their fan base gets on VeVe, just like with a lot of the other artist stuff, artist collectibles, once that interoperability hits and there's an announcement or something that gets put out saying like, okay, you can take your artist collectibles off the VeVe app now, I expect a huge pump with them. I definitely agree with that. There's definitely something about that Moonflower. I'm going to have to do more research on that when I get off the live stream. I'm going to have to take a deep look into the artist. I don't want to say the name wrong because I probably am not going to pronounce it the right way. Yasuke Yamamoto. Not a bad idea, Dave Nelson. I'm going to sit out the decon drops and think just smart and snipe on those. Not a bad idea. Super Rush. I love the Patrick Hughes art. I think that's one of the fine art pieces that are going to do really well long term. I actually paid a premium for the Venice piece. I think I paid like $200 or $300 over floor, but that's just because I saw a mint number that matched the crate one. I had one, I think it was like 928 mint. And I heard everybody getting matching mints of this one. I was like, wow, that's crazy. How's everyone matching their mints? I was like, let me take a look, right? Like, what are the chances, right? I go to the Venice, I search for my mint number, and I see it. And I look at the price, and it was like $500. And I was like, wow, am I about to get matching mints for these? That was my only matching mint, my first matching mint set. So I pulled the trigger on it, took the hit, but now I have matching mints of that. And I think that's going to be a big deal, especially to collectors in the future. I think I could probably get them for a premium. But I also want to keep them in my showroom and show them off with the mint numbers attached to it. So my game plan is also a little bit different than most. I don't know when it's going to happen, so it could take some time. It's already taken a little bit of time. But eventually, we're going to be able to charge an admission fee for our showroom. So for me, that's really what I'm hoping for to happen soon. Even if it's just a gem or two, right? I mean, that could be big time, especially for all the Vaultaholics out there. Shout out to Traps Wellington, who I think he was one of the ones that created the Vaultaholics, where he's like managing them or whatever the case is. But love what they're doing. I think once we can start making an admission fee, that's going to come out and be a huge factor, because think of all the creative, crazy showrooms that you've seen, right? A lot of people would still pay 1 gem to go and see that. Maybe it's like a 2 gem all day pass or a 5 gem all week pass or whatever the case is, right? There's so many options like that, and that's a way to reward the creators too. Going for Shut Up and Paint. Same with me, Bubs. Same with me. The comic dropping is the first non-Marvel comic on the app. Yup. Shout out to VeVe and 3 for pointing that out. Now, Hamoon, I was actually thinking, is it really the first non-Marvel comic? Because we have seen the Star Wars comics, and that's licensed by Lucas and Film. I know Star Wars brand is it's owned by Marvel, right? And Marvel's owned by Disney, so, or I should say Star Wars is owned by Disney. So would you still consider this the first non-Marvel comic, even if we've had Lucas and Films? Do you guys know this is the first DC comic, not DC comic? Shout out to Kelvin. December likes that piece. I think December's talking about Shut Up and Paint. Yup, Shut Up and Paint. I like that. It's weird, like me. I think it's gonna be tough to get that one December. Just because I think majority, if I had to guess, I think majority of the people would probably be going for probably Shut Up and Paint, just because people see that 888 editions and they're like, oh, I could probably flip this, and rightfully so. I mean, I think it's going to be probably a fun one to hold, and probably the most expensive in the short term. If it comes out and the marketplace opens and there's only a handful in the market, I could see it being close to $500, maybe slightly more, and then dip into like $300-400. Wow, maybe this whole time I did have, because ever since high school I thought I've been allergic to pollen. What if I did have that, Dr. Strange? What if I broke my nose and I end up having, a deviated septum? I busted a guy's nose playing basketball. I did that, oh my God, thing too when I looked at him. Wow, Jerry, it's literally I think my buddy who hit the baseball, I mean, it's crazy too, because I don't even think he was on the varsity team. Shout out to my buddy though, if he's ever tuning in. But he got a hold of this one, man. I'll tell you what. It was just batting practice. I think all the varsity kids were pitching to like JV. I don't know what it was. Regardless, hit this one square. I just remember, I like dropped. My hands were on my knees. I was like, oh my God, I felt like I got hit by a train. I look up at him, and his reaction was just like, oh my God, like I can't believe I just did that. And I was like, what? And that's when the blood started pouring out, and then that's when it hit me. I was like, Oh my gosh. Did you go after that guy? No, I knew him pretty well. Complete accident. I actually couldn't believe he hit one that well. I was like, wow, dude, you crushed that ball. BDK is conflicted. I think for me, I wasn't going to go for this one because I do think maybe the uncommons going to retail. If I get the rare and it goes on to retail, I don't even really care. I'm just going to hold on to the rare because I love gold. I think I may just go for this one just for the fun of it. But again, if you're limited on gems and you only have maybe like 10 or under 50 and you're really trying to save it for a drop that you love, it may be good to pass on this one. I think it's a gamble if you're trying to go for that secret rare. It's a 1 in 80 chance. Most likely, if we even see one person in the live stream get it, I'm going to be ecstatic today. Energy got to 100. Life target check. Now I lean back and chill. Let's go, energy. Jesus. Now you can really focus on the ones that you absolutely love. Man, I'm coughing, congested, struggling right now on the struggle bus. Energy, I feel like you got to that goal of 100. I really hope you guys get like some kind of AR or 3D collectible that says like 100 sets. I hope I get one too for completing 100 sets. Maybe not all at once, but I probably completed 100 sets by now. I'm floating around like, I want to stay in between 50, 55. I'm actually at like 59 right now. But again, I have some sets that I don't absolutely love. So I've been trying to kind of swap. That's what I like to do. Once I get up to that 60, 50 set range, I'll start swapping some of the sets that I don't love for some other ones that I really want. Missed you, but super glad you're rebooted. Got to take care of your mental health 100% and block out the noise, brother. Facts, Saggy Dot. Facts, my man. I feel like Goth's really been crushing me too. My energy level, I guess you would say. Going to the golf courses in the morning, come back in the afternoon, go back at night. Been going 3 times a day again. Basically what I was doing before I found VeVe. And I forgot how much that takes out of you. But I'm back. I'm feeling great. Also, a couple rough practice days had me feeling down too. But, it's just part of it. Morning, Kelvin. We only got 10 more minutes to the drop, 9 minutes to the drop. Willow Kid spitting them fire bars. How are we doing, Willow? We got Getsy in the building. Good luck today, Getsy. Good luck to you, Willow, as always, my man. Super Rush is up to 134 MCP points a day. Let's go. How'd you calculate that, Super Rush? Because I know there's a couple of apps out there that can definitely help you with that. Yeah, shout out to Willow, man. I mean, I don't think people realize, but Willow is an artist. Willow has some crazy music out there. Do we know when they're bringing transfers back? So, Austin, I think it's going to be part of the Master Collector program, I want to say. Not 100% sure on this. But I think it's going to be the people that are like master collectors, a certain rank, you're going to have the transfers back. Definitely a good welcome to Bitcoin BMW. I hope that answers your question from earlier today. The VeVe Okomi team, they hold a few editions for themselves, for the licensors, for the VeVe-verse. So that's another good sign too, right? If anybody has any kind of doubts that we'll never see the VeVe-verse, right? There's some people that really think that. And so the fact that the Okomi VeVe team's holding a couple of these collectibles for their museum in the VeVe-verse should tell you everything, right? Once they implement KYC, that could definitely be true too. And we know that's coming soon. We know that everybody's going to have access to the web app. Once that happens, then we're going to roll out KYC for everybody. Then once KYC rolls out, that's when we have the MTL ability to cash out. I like this one, Simone. Not to be political, but what is your favorite color? So a pretty non-political question right there. I appreciate it, Simone. So my favorite color, I like blue. Blue is such a common color. I'm going to spice it up a little bit. and say like a navy blue and white, which is crazy because the VeVe colors, blue and white. I mean, with a black background, that's probably my favorite blue too, like a baby blue. But without a black background, say we had a lighter color background, it'd be navy blue and then white, which is crazy. That's why I feel like VeVe, it's so wild that what's happened with VeVe. I used to play on a travel AAU team. I almost said AAA. Travel baseball AAU team that was called Arsenal, and our colors were navy blue and white. So growing up, I've always had so many T-shirts, hoodies, jerseys, apparel, hats that were navy blue and white. So I think it just grew on me. Big fan of that. But I also like kind of like my favorite combination of colors would be black, white, blue, and then like a lime green or like a neon green. You know the lightsabers, the Skywalker and the Yoda lightsabers? Those would be like my favorite colors, a neon blue, neon green with like a white or black background. That's my all-time favorite. No way. Shout out to Willow, man. Breaking your phone is the most frustrating thing, especially because we use our phones for so much. I feel like we don't realize even how much we use our phones for things until we break it. And then every 10 seconds, you're like, all right, let me just check this. Oh, my phone's broke. All right, let me just go do this. Oh, the phone's broke. It's actually probably a good reminder of how obsessive we all are of our phones. Even me, I feel like that's what I try to do when I golf. I try to put my phone away. It's like my escape, essentially. Go to the golf course, just enjoy the atmosphere, the nature, the water, the grass, the trees. Just clear my mind and not be on the phone. You definitely deserve a secret rare for breaking your phone. Yeah, Simone, yeah, no one go for the shut up and paint. Leave some for us. I definitely think that's going to be the most popular one. It's going to be hard to get. And because it's going to be hard to get, it makes me want to go for it even more. Oh, Crunchgate. I doubt that helps. But you never know. Never know, Dave. Good evening, you guys. December, I know it's late for you. Smash that like button, fam. We got fun under the sun today. I'm not going to block you today, my man. And I'm glad we don't have any bots in the channel. You know what else is crazy? I've been seeing bots pop up in so many live streams lately. I was watching Pat McAfee's show the other day. He usually comes on around 12 p.m. Eastern time. During the week, Monday through Friday, he has like a live sports show, basically like an ESPN coming from a former player. And even in his live stream, he had those crazy bots, the ones that we've had too. And it was funny to see the chat's reaction because, like, I don't know how that happens. Diane C., good morning. Good luck, everybody. Let's go. We got Kelvin going through some history right now. Super Simono, afternoon. Good afternoon. Late to the stream, early to the drop. I love y'all so much. Dropping soon, I promise. Been really working. Let's go, Willow. We waiting on you. Gonna have to switch up the intro to some new Willow Kid. But of course, you know, we can never forget about let's go. Cryptocurrency, yeah, you know it. Man, shout out to It's Wonderful, man. We really do need a It's Wonderful Willow JD collab. Daniel, how we doing? How we doing? We ain't going nowhere. That's a fact. Royal blue and green. Wow, loving the hearts. Appreciate y'all for the time warning. We got 2 minutes to go. Drew NFTV, J Dub, yo. Nice. Yeah, I love those colors right there. Like a deep sea blue green. 2 minute warning. Yeah, I feel like those colors look really good together. Oh, okay, 5 p.m. Yeah, Rich Buddy, you saw that the last NYC payphone was removed last week and taken to the museum. Now, I wonder if we're going to have a payphone digital collectible at VeVe one day. That would actually be crazy, right? That would be historic. I was kind of only kidding, but more and more I think about that. I wonder if we will see, historic things like that. Mr. Flips, how we doing? How we doing, fam? We got a minute left. Almost time for the coffee gate. I think my coffee's cold by now. Yeah, facts. We definitely got to do it. Let me talk to. It's wonderful, Willow. Good luck, fam. Good luck, fam. Miss Rose, you should be a mod. I see Kelvin's little tag. I don't see yours, though. Let me try to fix that. Also, I'll do it right after this drop. We got 30 minutes to the drop. Shout out to my coffee gators. Can't forget that. I actually think that we will be able to probably react to this one. But if you want to try to time it, I didn't really go over too much today. Buy now button pops up 1 second after 0. I think we'll be able to react to it today, though, still. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. I was too early. But I got one. Let's see here. I'm going to go for it. We'll see what happens here. We shall see. A little 3-digit secret rare. Okay, she does have it. Okay, cool. For me, on my angle, it doesn't look like she has it. Let's take a look. All right, 2,585. Pretty low mint. It is sold out, so it did sell out. Did anybody get 2? I didn't think we were going to be able to get 2 of them today. Leaving a comment right now on the decon drops. All right, let me see. Did anybody not get one? And let me know also if anybody got 2. Getsy says he's all out of coffee. Only got 1. That is not normal. Yeah, I wonder why. It looks like Kelvin only has a tag. Maybe because he was the first mod. Let me check it out. Let me see what it looks like on the... Oh, you both have it. Yeah, okay, cool. You both have it. It just looks different on my desktop as opposed to in the live chat. Let's go. Miss Rose and Kelvin, the best mods in the world. No way. December, you got nothing? No way. Misclicked and gone. Wow, so that's crazy. I'm surprised I did get one then because I clicked too early and then kind of just double clicked and was able to get one real quick. Wow, great mint. Only got 1. Did anybody get 2? Hey, Christian J, good to see you. Good to see you, my man. Only got 1. Wow, 2596. What was my number again? 25. I forget now. I didn't take a picture of it either. It's the first DC comic in the blockchain. Is it confirmed, Kelvin? Because I feel like because it's not actually DC, it could be people will say it's not. Imagine getting a secret rarity, crazy limited, and good to see you, Invisible Friends. Twitter 400K. Also, have you been going for the drops, like backing out less than 10 seconds? Because I actually tried that the last few days. Not the last few days. I would say before the Star Wars drop was crazy. I kept doing that like 4 times, and I got an uncommon, a rare, an ultra rare, and a secret rare. I think a secret rare or an ultra rare. I got everything but a common by doing that. And Invisible Friends Twitter 400K was doing that for months. Ever since I really started talking about like backing out a minute before, or like 30 to 45 seconds before, Twitter 400K was literally backing out 10 seconds before the drop every time, saying it's a hack, right? Or backing out at least works. And like doing it 10 seconds ago seems to really work for a lot of people. Wow, so we all did well except December. December, what happened? We may have to do a little giveaway for December, but transfers are down. Once transfers are back up, December, get ready. Ooh, I found the best clock to use for rebounds for me is the Apple clock on my Mac. Good to know, Rich Buddy. I feel like once you find something that works for you, just keep doing it. Because I feel like everything has a little bit different, and depending on your phone. Oh, that might be it. You're right, Kelvin. That's what it is, being a member. That's what it is. Not the DC comic yet. This is the rare comic before DC became publishers. Could be worth a lot. Wow. Crypto King, that's an interesting point right there because I feel like most people are not valuing this comic. But that's a really interesting point right there. TY got a 610 mint. Huge. This is why I said before, this is the first DC, not DC comic. This is tough. All right, this is the question that everyone wants to hear. Saggy Dot, appreciate you for asking right now. If you had one of each, if market prices match, would you swap Ultra Rare Vader for another Todd? Oh, all right. So, Saggy Dot. For me personally, if I only had one of each, right? One Todd, one Ultra Rare Vader, I would just leave it the way it is. Because for me, I don't want to pick and choose one or the other. I would like to be, because I'm a collector at the end of the day too, I want to collect, I want to have one of each as a collector. Now, an investor may be a different story. Because as an investor, you may not even care which one you have, right? I think there's a chance that the Vader Ultra Rare could do better in the short term just because of the popularity of Star Wars and Darth Vader. But I just keep thinking about medium to long term when VeVe's social media is worked out. Because I'll tell you, I'll be completely honest. Before the spam comments, before really VeVe took off and had hundreds of thousands of users, when we only had like that 10 to 30K range of users, there was no spam comments in the feed. Back in March and April and May of 2021, I found myself using VeVe social media feed way more than Instagram, Twitter, all these other platforms. And it blew me away because I was being self-aware of what was happening. I was like, I'm actually rather using VeVe than all these other social media platforms. Why? And I think a lot of it's because of the brands. You find people that are just like you, that are both into Batman, both into Star Wars, and then you bond and talk and you meet people that way, right? I think it's a lot more immersive that way because you're finding out what people's interests are that way. So can you imagine when the VeVe social media feed is all put together, the algorithm set? Now the question is, Saggy Dot, if you had multiple Vaders, Todds, that's a different question. For me though, to answer your question, Sagida, if I had one of each, one Todd, one ultra rare Vader, and the prices were the same, I would just leave it the way it is. I would only just have one Vader, one Todd. Right now I have 3 Todds, one ultra rare Vader. And I'm okay with that. You know, that's the way I want it to be. I have my 3rd Todd listed. You guys probably saw it, but I'm not listing that to buy another one. Basically, I'm buying another Todd. I want to still have 3 Todds, but I need some liquid. So that's why I'm just going to hopefully sell that 1,000 mint Todd for like 3.7, 3.9K. Buy back a Todd just under 3K and then pocket almost 1,000. Even if it's like just 7, 8, 900 gems. I mean, that's a big come up right there. To still have 3 Todds and then use those gems for something else. Wow, 1975, man. Okay. I'm really curious to see how this comic does. Kind of long term. I don't think it's going to do amazing in the short term. Ooh, okay, so Willow's been backing out with 15 seconds ago. Sorry, December. I don't know what it is. You seem like your account must be on the on the block list or something. I don't know what it is. That's why I want those transfers to come back, because we're gonna hook up December. I just wish you hit one. I wanted to see December come on the chat and be like, oh my gosh, and you're not even able to say what you got because you're so excited. A little bit, but we can definitely talk about this a little bit more. Super Simono. Much love. Gonna listen in while getting ready for some sleep. Appreciate you, December. A lot of people missing these rebounds. I did not get any Alluvium land, real talk. I think that's a pretty solid one to get, though, if you can afford land for that. Shirt disappointed me today. Oh, man, just the common. Might have to wash the shirt then. Keep the shirt, just wash it. Give it a, maybe refresh the energy of it. Oh, that's a good one right there. Oh, wow. Invisible Friends, tell me you backed out 10 seconds ago. People are telling me the market's open already, huh? Crazy fast delivery, or just fast opening of the market. Let's see. New comic drop. Was this announced? Captain Marvel? Oh, yeah, it was. Kamala Khan. My order's still pending. Let's take a look at the prices. Prices could be expensive just because there's not many. Yeah, wow, the secret rare. 1.1K for the secret rare. There's 3 listed. I would have done this. I would do the same thing right now if I get my secret rare. But the ultra rare is at 105. Got the rares at 44. Uncommons at 9. Common is at 850. Let's go. All starting out above retail. That's a good sign, right? I know. I was just saying, Invisible Friends. I was just saying that you backing out the last 10 seconds has been unbelievably successful. Even I started doing that. I was just saying right before Darth Vader, I think the last 4 or 5 drops, I was backing out last 10 seconds. And I was literally getting uncommon, rare, ultra rare. I was getting everything besides the common when I was doing that. It was mind-blowing. I was like, wow, maybe Invisible Friends Twitter 400K really found the hack. Yeah, absolutely, Crypto King. Let's see what Vitaman was saying. The best on drop day, Master Dunn, Jimbo, Lee, Lingo. Appreciate you big time for tuning in today. And exactly, I mean, we've seen the Marvel Comics #1. People were upset they got the common. It was $2. A few months later, it went up to $700. Ooh, great idea to have a game plan too. That's huge. Because when you have a game plan, at least when your emotions get involved, you can revert back to your game plan as opposed to just kind of falling into the hype or you're letting your emotions get the best of you. Having a game plan is crucial. The Secret Rare is so cheap right now. People not realizing it's only 187 editions with 181 odds. Definitely is crazy, right? And that's why I do think that it could be pretty expensive right away. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Let's see if it's gone down from 1,000. There's only 5 listed. Still at 1K. That's amazing to see. I thought it was going to start out maybe like $500. That's good to see, actually. We got the common Darth Vader at $123. Put out an Instagram story saying, like, when the common Darth Vader was at retail, $80, $90, I was like, the people that were complaining about others being early, they got a chance to stack. This is your opportunity right now. You have FA Darth Vader going for like $10 over retail. And then we saw the common hit like 140, 150, but it's back down to 123. I think that's still a very safe play. Same with the uncommon, 132. Ultra rares at 2.1K. Again, you never know what's going to happen in the market. It could dip, right, in the short-term micro. But something like FA Darth Vader, the common, the uncommon, those are, in my opinion, not financial advice, of course, one of the safest things you can think of right now. Just because you have FA, one of the most popular characters in the world. Arguably one of the most popular villains in the world. To where even people like me, who not a big Star Wars fan, wasn't my whole entire life, I know how impactful and how big something like Darth Vader is. Can you imagine all the other Darth Vaders that happen in the future, next few years? This is the first appearance of Darth Vader. In my opinion, that's huge. Let me go over the decon drops. I know Super Simono wanted me to go over them real quick. I did go over this a little bit in the beginning. I'm going to touch on it until my delivery gets delivered. So June 4th, Saturday, the VeVe Decon kickoff party, 12 to 5 p.m. Shout out to everyone who's going to this. So it's going to be 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Actually, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. 1 p.m. PT. $100 for the 1,888 editions, the Rare Ultra. I like this one a lot. Like I was saying before, the black and purple is probably my favorite colorway of this, even in the physical version of this. I think there's a lot of people that like this one. So I think this is going to do pretty decent. Probably about the same price point of the first one. Cozy and Dan, both of these artworks are going to be $50. I imagine it's going to be a full set, both of them. Like one set combined. Like you need both of them for a full set. Just my opinion. Could be wrong. Could be 2 sets here. But I think it's going to be one set. We have $50 list price for 1,266 editions. I think these are going to do pretty well just because it's only $50. Even though we know 2D posters don't do the best on VeVe. It's only a $50 price point. If these were over 100, I think then they could float back down to about 50. So the fact that there is only, 1,266 of these. Oh, actually, let me take this back. I thought these were the same editions. So the Bunny's Fall actually has more editions. 1,888. I wonder why they did that. That's interesting. And then the other one is 1,266 editions. The Gray Hairs is actually a little bit more limited. So I think this one may do a little bit better. Shout out to Miss Rose, though. I know she likes this one a little bit more. I like them both. Then we have one that really has me kind of confused on how this is going to do in the market, because this one's really interesting. The Moonflower. I think people really like this one. Me personally, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I'm going to have to do more research on this one. I don't really know anything about it. And there is 2,888 editions, so there's a little bit more than people might have expected. I don't see this one doing unbelievable in the short term because of that. But if it's a pretty popular one worldwide, and I know down here it says his work has been shown in galleries and museums worldwide, so global fan base. That's why I think we haven't even touched the surface yet. Once a lot of these different countries that can't even read the VeVe app yet in their language, I can only imagine what's going to happen when that time comes. Then we have the Shut Up and Paint. This is the most limited of the drop. 888 editions, even going to be less than that when the VeVe team takes some. So for $77, I'm going to be going for this one. To flip it, though, shout out to Dave Pressler. I think he's an amazing artist. But for me, I just trying to stack my gems right now. So I think this is going to give us the most ROI. Not financial advice, just my opinion. But it's going to be tough to get on the drop. We're going to have to bust out Rhythm Gate. We're going to have to be perfect timing with this one. Because I think this one is not one to where you can wait to see buy now show up and then click. I think you're going to be too late. Yeah, Gary, you read my mind, or I read your mind. Now, the thing about this that's a little bit different is that they're all dropping at the same time, guys. So before, when this happened, we would be able to kind of go for every drop. Now, for this one, it's going to be different. Let me kind of go over on my phone here. So I think this is what's dropping in the morning. Let me just double check here. Yep. Pretty sure that's what's dropping in the morning. Then the decon drops in the afternoon. So I don't think this is a blind box. So we're going to have to scroll. They're all dropping at the same time. So that's really a big difference right there. So you get to pick and choose which one you want to go for, but they're all dropping at the same time. So a lot of people are going to go for this one. So the buy now button's already up, but the same kind of principle is going to happen with this one. Once we see the timer really start. Yeah, here we go. Once we see the timer actually start, it's the same principle. The buy now is not going to pop up 1 second after 0, but it's going to become clickable 1 second after 0. So we got some time for this one, but we're going to be able to go in. Say you don't want to go for that one. I think one of the easier ones to go for, to lock one in, is probably going to be one of the Cozy and Dan posters or the Moonflower. I almost said Moon Knight. Just because it is $77 and we do see a little bit more editions, 2,800 essentially. So you could click on that one, but you're going to have the option here to click on whichever one you want to go for. So Gary, hopefully this helps your question. If you want to go for the Vultura, you can click on the Vultura. So it's not going to be a blind box. And they're all happening at 4 p.m. tomorrow. Yeah, I agree. Oh, 6 a.m. draw for BDK. That's going to be a tough one for everyone, like December, too. Yeah, same here, Christian J. I'm not going for this round of decon drop. Saving gems for that Lincoln design drop we know is coming. They already spilled that tea in their YouTube comments. Facts. I don't think most people know about that. So we will give a little low-key hidden gem in the YouTube live for all the viewers right now. Willow, let me try and bring it up. Where did you let me know? Was it on Instagram? Here it is. I found it on YouTube. Lincoln Design Co. Lincoln Design Co. It was on May 31st.
Now that you can get
May 12th.
To introduce.
Hold on. Where was it? I'm going to find the exact video because they put out a little hidden teaser. Thanks to Willow Kid for finding it. Chop Up 38. There it is. Episode 38, yep. Here it is. Hey, Miss Rose, appreciate you big time for tuning in today. Do you know what you got? I don't think yours delivered just yet. I'm praying it's a good one. Appreciate you, as always, for tuning in, though. Let's take a look. Shout out to Willow Kid for finding this one. This is the Chop Up episode 38 from Lincoln Design Co. Lincoln Design Company. Willow said, grew up racing moto, so this was dope to see. Still holding on to my VeVe Lincoln decks. Love you guys. Lincoln replied with, big things coming soon. Stay tuned. Thanks for the love, Willow Kid. Let's go. This is one day ago. Little hidden alpha. So it looks like we could see maybe some more Lincoln, maybe not skate decks, maybe a little something different. He said, big things coming soon. Stay tuned. Oh, so who knows what that could be? I got the same feeling as Christian J for this one. I'm going to go for Shut Up and Paint, Shut Up and Draw, Shut Up and Paint. Just because I think it's going to do the best in the short term. So I think probably we'll be able to flip that for a few hundred gems. Where my skaters at? Yeah, can you only imagine when we start seeing maybe Tony Hawk collectibles, skate decks? That's going to bring out huge fan bases from the skate world. Then they're going to find out what was the first skateboard industry company on the app? Lincoln. Lincoln's huge. We're going to find the Lincoln skateboard decks. And then I was talking to Willow too. Complete speculation, of course. But what happens if, saying the VeVe-verse, once we do get the VeVe-verse kind of rolled out, obviously future iterations of it, not going to be like this right away. But can you imagine like a virtual world to where maybe there's skate parks and then you can use your character and go, kind of like how there's skateboard video games out there. I was kind of thinking of like just simple ones to where you could actually, instead of just taking your character and move around in the VeVe-verse, what if you could actually go like up and down some of the ramps and stuff like that, and you could use your Lincoln skateboard decks, maybe future ones that come out, all kinds of stuff like that. But that's future far. That's not going to be the first iteration of the VeVe-verse. A white Lincoln snake. Yeah, I know those didn't do too well. I actually bought 4 of the commons, mainly for, I think I have 4 or 5, mainly for my showroom purposes. I love the design on that common one. It has like that black and gold artwork on it. I think they'll do fine long term. They all took a huge hit though, so definitely feel for you guys. But shout out to the ones that are still holding on. Good. The good news about those skateboard decks, if you've seen, the supply is crazy low in the market. So just like with a lot of other things in the market, supply shock could definitely be happening eventually. Of course, people could relist theirs, obviously too. That's definitely a possibility. Lincoln works with some massive brands doing their art. Monster Energy, Nike, Universal, Hot Wheels, list goes on. Sounds like the same brands that are all on VeVe. Or about to be on VeVe. I still have 1 pending order. Love the fact that the market opened up early. Don't love the fact that I don't have mine yet. Let's take a look at the prices. We got 15. I think there's 15. We got 17 secret rares. The prices dropped almost in half to 600. And see, that's why I always say to people, as soon as the market opens, be careful. Because usually when there's only maybe 5 or 10 in the market, prices are really, really high. Then once more comics get delivered, more people put it in the market, saturation happens, and we usually see that price go down. Ultra rares are $44 right now. The rares are at $23. Uncommons at $7.50. Are the commons above retail? Still above retail. It's actually a great sign though, because an unimportant comic book like this, you would assume automatically goes under retail. But the fact that there's only, how many commons are there today? It's 15,000 total. Maybe 8,000 total commons. Yep, 8,000 only commons. So golden moments ain't a thing no more. What do you mean by that, Rich Buddy? Golden moments are still definitely a thing. I think just overall the market, the hype, the market sentiment is just down right now. A lot of that I think has to do with the real world economics. I mean, depending on where you are, gallon of gas is over $5 right now. We got grocery prices of food going crazy. Just the overall economics aren't great right now. So I think that has a lot to do with, some of the prices in the market. I hate waiting for that red bar to go away too. I thought Pixar would have been a lot of hype. Yeah, Rich Buddy, I thought Pixar would have done a little bit better too. But again, it's just so early. It's probably one of the most cliche words or sayings in the whole crypto spaces. It's so early, and people don't want to hear that anymore. But in reality, it really is. This is VeVe BC, before crypto. This is Omi BC, before Coinbase. A lot of things are happening, they're just happening at a slower timetable than people really want. Man, I can definitely see them doing this, Mr. Flips. That's exactly what I was kind of envisioning when I was talking to Willow about this. I forget exactly what game I was thinking of. I don't know if it's like Skateboard Park Tycoon. I don't know if they even made one of those. One of the games that had like skate parks in it, though, is what I'm envisioning. That could be it, where you build your own skate park. You get to ride in it, maybe change like the decks, the trucks, the wheels eventually at some point. Yeah, everything really is going up. It's kind of wild to see in real time. You think if we hodl, market cap will double at some point? What do you mean by this, Rich Buddy? Which market cap? Of collectibles, Omi? Yeah, that's the thing, right? People always say VeVe is dead. Then they'll go for the drop and it sells out. And it's like, wait, I thought VeVe was dead. It just goes. I think I just, oh, there we go. We're back. I clicked the wrong button on my mouse. It just exited me out real quick. That was scary. I thought I just exited, got off the whole chat. I thought I left the live stream. Yeah, the whole VeVe market, will it double in value? Really can't answer that one, Rich Buddy. You know, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't know the exact answers to that. I think with time, 100%. You know, it's only going to be a matter of time before it picks back up. I could see it happening maybe in another couple months, few months, but we don't know the exact time frame. I remember last year, 2021, when that DeLorean dropped, the common went down to $3, right? That was in the summer. I think it was kind of early summer, though. So let's just say if it was like midsummer. Then you got August, September, October. A few months right there where people said VeVe is done. VeVe lost momentum. VeVe sinking, all this kind of stuff. Then they announced Disney. And everything started to boom. But then, even when Disney got dropped, Homer and Bart, the first ever Disney NFT, basically resold at retail. After that week, prices went up. Can you only imagine what's going to happen when there's supply of like 10, 20, some of these collectibles? It gets kind of crazy. Yeah, I think that's going to eventually happen, Mr. Flips. It's going to start out small, right? Small iterations. Maybe it's like multiplayer in our showrooms type thing. That's kind of how I see it. Meaning like instead of I can just go into your showroom, Mr. Flips, you can come into my showroom. I think the first iterations of that VeVeverse will be like me and you can both go into your showroom at once and kind of interact with the collectibles. And maybe we see avatars starting then. Because I think that's going to be really fun if all of us can get together, go into Willow's showroom, look at his originally owned Walt, look at his originally owned Darth Vader, maybe have him tell some stories about it. Then the drops happen, and then we all come to my showroom for the drop, right? All kinds of crazy things can happen at that point. Even just small mini games in our showrooms. That would be a crazy iteration. Appreciate you big time for hopping in today, Willow. I think you got a common comic book today, if I remember correctly. Have a great rest of the day, though, brother. Appreciate you big time. I thought Windows force shut down your PC. I have like a little button, like a side button on my mouse. If I click this side button, which is right where my thumb is, I found out it exits me out of the live stream. I'm glad I found out it doesn't actually end it, so that's good. Done buying off market. How many did you get? Invisible Friends Twitter took no time rushing in there. Got one ultra rare, one rare, two uncommons, all sub 1900 around floor. That sounds pretty solid to me, brother. Let's see. I think it could continue to dip a little bit as they get delivered. Let's see. How many still have to be delivered? I just got mine, and I got a common today. Nothing crazy. I was hoping for a rare all gold one. If the rare one dips big, then I'll pick up a gold just because I like the gold. It's at $15. May have to cop it. It's gone. I felt like $15 is way too cheap for that. We only have 5,000 left out of the 1,500, so almost all of them have been delivered. Yeah, it will be slow, but like you said, over time it will develop. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Mr. Flips, I'm glad you understand that. I feel like most people don't realize that, you know, when we talk about the speculation stuff, it's not going to happen right away. I would say most of us do realize, but some people think when I say this stuff, it's going to happen right away. It's going to happen in a slow, you know, they always say iterations over time, right? Nothing's going to be final right away. Saggy Dot says, JD, do you own any Bitcoin? So I don't have a full Bitcoin. I remember when Walt was more than a Bitcoin. Hindsight, looking back, maybe I should have sold one of my duplicates for some crypto or something like that. You know, a lot of people think I should. A lot of people said no, hold. So I did what I liked the most. And I mean, yeah, hindsight looking back, I wish I did have a lot of that capital. Could definitely be making a lot of moves right now. So I don't have too much Bitcoin Saggy Dot. What's crazy though is I got my Twitter monetized, so people can actually tip me in Bitcoin on my Twitter, which is pretty wild. So if you go to the Twitter account, you go to that top button right there, Bitcoin, pretty wild. I mean, I definitely believe in Bitcoin long term. I believe in a lot of cryptos long term. Kenobi got the ultra rare. Let's go. People are probably going to tell him to sell it. He was asking for advice. I'm going to check out Twitter. That's what I'm doing right now. See if anybody got any crazy rarities or mints or anything like that. And then I'm going to hop off today. Anybody getting crazy low mints or anything like that? Wow, shout out to Ryan. He finally owns a Todd. Big moment. Wow. Lucas. Secret rare today. Huge. Wow, struck gold. Really did. Number 250 gold. Man, I would love a low mint gold one. That's something crazy interesting. Gold. Did VeVe shut down? Thomas Conger. Why are you asking if VeVe shut down? Did VeVe shut down? No, Thomas Conger. VeVe is up, alive, and crushing it. Mr. Flips, definitely catch you on the next one as well. Appreciate you for tuning in today. Everything is would have, should have, or in hindsight, no regrets. That's a fact. I definitely don't have any regrets because the more I look at it, I probably would have made the mistake of if I did sell that Walt, I wouldn't have been able to keep 30,000 gems in my account with all these other drops. 100%, I probably would have spent maybe half of that on a whole bunch of other collectibles. And then those all would have went down big time. So I would have probably kept some liquidity, which would have been solid right now. But I would have bought a lot more collectibles that all went down in value too. I wouldn't have had two more Walts. So I definitely agree with that. Invisible Friends 400K. I don't have a whole Bitcoin either, but I think any amount is still good. Yeah, I agree with that. 100% Saggy Dot. I mean, that's the good thing about it is, right, you don't have to own a full one. I'm getting a service unavailable splash screen. Okay, so try exiting and out the app, Thomas, and then try again. Let me go over these prices one more time because it looks like they're all delivered by now. Only 3,918 left, so they're almost all delivered. Oh, okay, you're Ronnie Lido. Let's go. Thomas Conger is his burner account. Shout out to Ronnie Lido. I did all the special tech savvy stuff already. Still won't let me in. Guess I'm making a ticket today. Yeah, my only other suggestion, definitely make a ticket about it, Ronnie, and just let them know your username. You could put that also in the official Discord, and maybe it kind of puts you up there on the priority list a little bit. Hopefully it gets to them faster. You could also try, this is a little bit riskier, deleting the VeVe app and then re-downloading it. You could try maybe doing that one. Just make sure, obviously, you have all your passwords remembered and everything like that. I feel like it's not just me either. Anytime anybody gets logged out or you have to reinstall it, I've only had to reinstall it one time. But anytime that happens, it's always like a heart-sinking moment because a lot of us, you have some high valuable collectibles. Okay, so you already did that? Yeah, so got to make a support ticket then. Faster the better so you don't miss too many drops. After you make a support ticket, Ronnie, since we do have decon drops happening tomorrow, go into the VeVe official Discord, and I think they have like a help me tab. I would just put your support ticket number in there and the situation you have. Obviously, put in there a respectful way. Don't be like cursing at them or anything. That won't help. But just put it in there, respectfully, your situation and the support ticket number, and they should be able to fix it, put you on the top of the priority list quickly. Hopefully, you're able to get it back working before tomorrow's drop. Tomorrow's comic, I don't think is crazy valuable, just off the top of my head without looking at any kind of research, but I have no idea about it. I think long-term could do well. Short-term, I have no idea. Definitely better odds of getting a secret rare, 159. The chance of getting a secret rare today was almost impossible, 1 in 81. So those that did score, man, shout out to you guys. That was definitely one to grab. It was definitely a hard one to grab, I should say. I'm going to try to at least get a gold one today. If the price dips down to like $15 again, I'll probably add a gold just because I like the gold cover a lot. I've gone through the process before. I'll get it back. Yeah, let me know when you do get it back, Ronnie Lido. Tweet me a DM, or if you get it back by tomorrow morning, let me know on the live. And also let me know if you don't get it back in time. Maybe I can reach out to Reese or someone on the team, Reese or Alex, and try to help you out a little bit. I'm going to go over these prices one last time, then I'll be signing off today. We got the secret rare. There's only 23 available, down to $510. We got the ultra rare at 40. We got the rare, my favorite, at $16.99. It's really at 18, I think. The uncommon's at 7. And is the common under retail? It is under retail, $6.50. I don't see the uncommon staying below retail for too long. I think people would probably stack the uncommons of these. Not because of the real world value, but just because there is only 4,000 essentially uncommons. So I just don't think 4,000 is a lot. I think there's going to be people that stack that. Wow, got a secret rare. If you let out a yell in the meeting, it would have definitely been worth it. I'm glad you didn't, though. Don't want to get fired. Shout out to Crypto King for getting a secret rare. 1 in 81 odds. That's unbelievably hard to get, man. Shout out to you guys. I will be live streaming all the drops tomorrow for DCon. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Appreciate you so much for tuning in today. Felt good to be back doing the lives. Had to rejuvenate, had to get refreshed. A couple of days off definitely was well needed, and I'm glad we did have a couple of days off. Yeah, that's awesome, Christian J. You got my favorite cover. Dang. I think the gold cover is the first one we've ever had as a gold comic book cover, if I'm not mistaken. Someone like me, I think that's a big deal. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal to most people, but for me as a collector, to one to hold, I definitely am glad I held on to that. I'm definitely glad I'm going to hold on to that gold comic book cover. Wow, Tokyo Twan NFT. Shout out for you grabbing the ultra rare. Ultra rare is highly limited too. Only 1,000 platinum covers. So that's going to be a good one too, I think. Energy, I will see you later, my man. See you later, Kelvin. Kelvin, what did you end up getting today? Did you go for the drop? Did you get a comment before I sign off? I know a lot of people got comments today. I was in a comment gang. I think you said you got a comment. Pretty low mint too, Christian. But with all that said today, guys, I will be signing out. Appreciate your support so much for tuning in. Oh, not revealed yet. Okay. Kelvin, let me know when it does get revealed. Either tweet me or DM me or put it in the Discord. I want to see what you end up getting. I hope it's at least a rare. Man, those gold covers look good today. 6041, just don't know what the rarity is. I'm going to guess it's a rare. I think you are going to get a rare. Wow, good to know. Those real Obi-Wan comics are sold out every comic book store. I think that's one of the newer comics that are going to do pretty well. Because Obi-Wan's a huge character. It's only going to get bigger. And I think the popularity of that new show is going to continue to grow. So praying for your rare, my man. Appreciate you guys big time for tuning in today. I appreciate all the support. With all that said today, I am signing out, guys. It's your boy, Johnny Dunn. We out, fam.